Welcome to the first episode of the New Arcade Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm John.
And I am Fraser.
We talk about nerdy shit that we want to talk about, all relating to a theme with 3 topics. Today's theme, Retros, Reboots, and Remakes. Our topics, what do you want to be rebooted or remade? What keeps getting remade that isn't needed? And what only holds up due to nostalgia? Let's start with our first topic, what do you want to be rebooted or remade? I mean, 21 Jump Street, Baywatch, The Mummy, Blade Runner, Star Wars, Will and Grace, Gilmore Girls, Roseanne, Full House, Animaniacs, DuckTales. All these shows are coming back from our nostalgia-fueled fevered dreams. It is a world of infinite possibilities. What do you want? Personally, I think a new season or a new movie for Sky High would do really well with all the Marvel stuff going on. Or a new season or reboot of Tower Prep, a show from the Cartoon Network about superheroes, but they're kind of like played down superpowers.
That was pretty good.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but a big fuck yes to Sky High.
Yeah, Sky High. Originally meant to be like a big series.
Was it actually?
It was actually meant to be.
Did it flop? Is that why I didn't continue?
Well, it's like a Disney Channel original, so how much money could it really make?
Did it come out in cinemas?
It definitely came out in
Did
cinemas.
it?
I remember seeing it.
Oh my god, I only ever saw
I don't
Disney
think
Channel.
it might have been Disney, but I don't think it was a...
It was definitely Disney.
It wasn't like a Disney Channel original movie like Twitches or whatever. It was a...
I like Twitches.
You're saying
I wasn't saying it
you
was
guys
a
are
bad,
saying a lot of things I don't know here.
bad thing. Because Disney Channel original movies can be pretty good. I mean, Halloween Town?
Yeah,
I love that shit.
That was a
The
good
Kim
one.
Possible movie.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that
Kim
was
Possible.
phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And also, bring Kurt Russell back for number 2. Sky High 2.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get Kurt Russell back.
Yeah, bring Kurt Russell back.
Yeah.
He's good at playing your superhero dads. I mean, look at Guardians of the
he
Galaxy.
loves a good superhero dad.
Yeah, right? That'd be a good plot line too. Like, Kurt Russell is the bad guy again.
So it's just gonna be basically Guardians of the Galaxy, but with the Sky High setting.
I see no problem with that.
I'm okay with that. Like, that's as long as Ron Wilson bus driver returns.
Yes.
MVP.
Yeah.
MVP of the whole rescue mission.
Love Ron Wilson.
Alright, so hang on. Tell me about Tower Prep. What am I missing out on here?
Oh, a lot.
Tower Prep.
Fuck.
Alright. A little underrated, I'd say. Only got 1 season. I believe Paul Dini, the guy that did Batman the Animated Series.
He made it.
Yeah, he made it.
Alright.
And it's like their powers are kind of like, they're not like big superhero powers.
But like one of them can turn invisible when no one's looking at him, kind of thing.
Is that a mystery man?
Yeah, that's a Misfits.
No,
Not
it's
quite.
mystery man.
I have Mystery
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
No one's looking at him. Some could go invisible when no one was looking at him either.
No, like one of their powers was he could just mimic anyone else's voice and sounds, like just a simple thing like that.
Man.
Another person was just kind of like a preflex.
That was a female, you gender-assuming piece of shit.
Well, you know, I haven't seen it in it.
Yeah.
John's kicked off by the first episode of the
Right.
podcast.
I'm already
He's not
on.
on that, guys. Don't get used to it. Yeah, no, but there was like, the main character was a preflex.
What's a preflex?
So he just knows when things are going to happen, but like only a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
slightly clairvoyant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. It's like, but it really only comes from like fighting and like, there was one episode where like he jumps over lasers and stuff to get across the grounds.
That's cool.
And then the other main character was like hyper persuasion, so he could just persuade anyone to do things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really unplayed. I think it was good. Had a good like storyline going, and I think it would work really well with like the superhero boom that we're still in after like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still painfully living out because everyone's dragging that shit out. But like something that's not tied to a giant cinematic. I'm excited for the Glass movie, Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass.
The split
Yeah, it's the
Unbreakable
split-
Oh, yeah,
pseudo
yeah,
sequel.
yeah.
I'm excited for superhero things that aren't necessarily DC or Marvel. Big Marvel fan, with the exception of Wonder Woman. Hate DC. Not because I hate them, not because I'm a Marvel fanboy. They just don't make good. I'm not getting into that. But like, it'd be really cool in the superhero boom to see things that aren't comic book related.
Yeah.
Something fresh, something original, something that doesn't need to be mass marketed with a fucking $200 million budget. That's a by the books plot. Something cool like that. That'd be.
I think that's why I like Watchmen so much.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it does like
It's DC Comics, but
yeah,
still,
it is like
it's
a thing.
independent.
Well,
It's
it's
quote unquote DC comics.
Yeah.
It wasn't like part of this big extended kind of thing. It was just here it is.
Yeah. This is Watchmen. Batman's not Batman in this because Night Owl's punching him in the face.
Played by Patrick Wilson, fantastically.
Yeah, brilliant. We talked about that this morning, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing I want to see rebooted ties into yours.
Yep.
Let's bring back Scooby-Doo. But let's do it good. None of this Scooby-Doo, where are you? None of this Be Cool Scooby-Doo. No more live action movies, even though I kind of like them.
No, we're good.
We're at the point now where adults like cartoons. You got Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, The Regular Show, Gravity Falls, a bunch of shows like that are proving cartoons can be fun for adults as well. Because
would you bring it back as an adult-focused cartoon,
Yes.
like Rick and Morty, or would it be a kids' cartoon still, like Gravity Falls, like Regular Show, like Adventure Time, that adults still love?
Lean more towards the adult side.
Really?
Remember Force Awakens? They had the people who worked on the originals and the people who grew up loving the originals do that. Like, just make it for the people. You know what? Fuck kids. They have enough shit to watch that they can miss out on this one Scooby-Doo. This is just ours. Get Stephen Moffat. He's doing good at writing Sherlock. Get him to write new Scooby-Doo episodes. He can write a mystery.
Only good at writing Sherlock and nothing else.
Yes.
Oh, damn. But how, like, adult are you going to go with that?
Okay.
I feel you can't go too far.
Scooby-Doo's not investigating a rape or anything like that. Like, it's still creeps in costumes. It's still campy in the sense that it's kids in costumes, but just make the episodes a bit longer and the mysteries a bit smarter than what they were back in the 60s. Like, don't have it the monster's got a hunchback and the man in the costume is the only guy with a hunchback in town. Like, don't do that. Make it a bit more sophisticated, just a bit smarter and a bit darker. Maybe include a casual swear word. I don't know. Like,
so Shaggy's like still saying Zoink. He's not like out there going, look, oh fuck Scoob.
No. Zoinks, Jinkies, Jeepers, Gang. All the catchphrases are back. Like,
Freddy's still wearing the ascot.
Freddy still wears.
So you're kind of just aiming for like a PG, maybe at most like an M rating, like at most.
Yeah. Like, not quite Rick and Morty's level of like adult themed, but just like a nice halfway point between Rick and Morty and the other cartoons.
Like a nice PG-13.
A nice PG-13, even though we don't have that in Australia.
No, we don't.
We have PG.
It's just PG.
It's just PG. Yeah.
PG. So what I want to see back is the Resident Evil movie franchise.
We just got rid of it.
We just got rid of it, but
do we need it back?
We do, because there was so much potential to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that the Resident Evil games had a good story. They didn't. Like,
I never played them, so I'll take your word.
They're still a bit all over the place and kind of stupid, but there's just still enough that I reckon you could make decent movies out of it, and not what they did with the series. It started off okay.
Okay, yeah.
It started off okay.
Yeah.
And then
that laser hallway scene was sweet.
Right, that was awesome, and it just progressively got worse until the latest one and the final.
As in the final chapter.
The final chapter. It was terrible. It was completely just nothing.
It was so loud. Why was it so loud?
Yeah, it was just it wasn't even like a zombie movie anymore. It was just an action movie, and that's what it was. It was like they just had like these big set pieces. Some action would happen. She would get knocked out, and then she would wake up for the next action set piece. That's the whole movie, and it's like that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to, see some short, kind of campy and stupid like reasonings of why a zombie's better than a bomb. Whatever. I want to see that though, and with more of the characters being used from the original like games. Yeah. Like I know they bring them in throughout the movies, but they're just
stuff like that.
Yeah, they're just. I feel they didn't land as well as I would have liked them to.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they're remaking it anyway. Already.
Oh, already? Fuck.
There's already rumours spreading around that they plan on rebooting the series and hopefully taking it in that new direction.
A TV series could be cool.
That could work.
Like, just scale it down, ground it a little more. Do Walking Dead, but more badass.
Animated though, or live action?
That's still live action.
Yeah, I reckon a live action one. Yeah, like kind of like The Walking Dead. Slightly more action, slightly more fast paced.
And make it better than The Walking Dead, please.
Ooh, that's gonna annoy a lot of people.
I started watching season 5. It got boring.
I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching before that.
I got to season 4 and jumped off. Yeah. Here's the episode structure. Good start. About what's the episode length? Like 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's say 2 minutes for the good start, 36 minutes of garbage, and 2 minutes for a good ending that make you keen for the next episode.
That also applies. That actually applies for their whole season structure, which is the first episode good, whole middle of just like doing nothing, and then the end of a season was great.
Oh man.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants me to tune back in though. Tempted to tune back in just for Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan.
Yes, he does. I thought you meant like Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants you to tune back. Like Jeffrey Dean Morgan
I'm sure
wants
he
you
does.
to choose back
He's
into the
called
show.
me up personally.
Yeah, like
Zach, why have you stopped watching? I'm in this now. Watch it.
and you're like, oh, like sorry, J-Bomb. Just like let me. I'll buy the next season on Blu-ray for you, kind of thing. Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Like, look, I'm definitely open to a rebooted Resident Evil.
Just done right.
Just make it good. Like that's
Yeah.
my only. That's my only. I don't hate Resident Evil as a franchise. I hate these movies because they're garbage. Like I saw, because like okay, confession time. Me and my girlfriend went to go see the new 50 Shades of Grey movie this year, and it was just things got steamy in there. Yeah, no, and like it was exactly as garbage as you'd think it would be. In fact, it was probably even more garbage than I thought. It was really bad. And then I spent the entire week just kicking the shit out of it. And then the next week other way around. I saw Resident Evil, and like I spent the entire week kicking the absolute shit out of it. And then I went and saw 50 Shades of Grey, and I was like, was it that bad just in hindsight? So I've kind of softened my stance on it a little bit, but it's still not by any means an acceptable movie.
I think that's a good point to jump into our second topic. What keeps getting remade that just doesn't need it?
Okay. You had something that I would really like to just kick the shit out of.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? So, okay, well, because mine's the Scream TV series.
Fuck the Scream TV series, man. I'm just going to get that out.
Well, no, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So no, because Scream's only been now rebooted once, pretty much. Like they continued it on with Scream 4 quite late from the third.
Which is neither a reboot or a remake.
Yeah, it's still a sequel.
It's
still a sequel.
Yeah.
They just did it later and it was slightly different. But
yeah, it's a sequel in the same way that Crystal Skull is still a Jones sequel.
Yeah, so it's only been rebooted once.
As much as the audience would like to disagree, Crystal Skull is a movie.
Yeah, so it's been rebooted once into the TV series, and I personally think the TV series was quite good for what it was trying to go for. It kind of created what Scream does, how it kind of like looks in on itself as a slasher movie, in this case TV series show, and I think it did relatively well. The second season fell a little flat, but it's the news that the third season is going to just be a reboot, not a continuation, when they already had like plot lines that still haven't been resolved. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They had plot lines that like wrapped up mostly nicely, and there were just a few loose threads. But then they were still like, all right, we're gonna redo it all. We're gonna start from scratch again for season 3.
Could that be some sort of like meta reference to the fact that everything else is getting rebooted, so they figured they just reboot themselves before, like preemptively?
I doubt it.
But if they do that, I think I might be able to forgive it a little, but I'd still like a few of the minor kind of like plots to be wrapped up, because there were actually some that really needed to be resolved, that they just kind of left hanging now.
Unresolved plot points are like a very big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, sometimes they can work.
Yeah.
Like if you're aiming to like that's your end goal to kind of be like, ooh, what is it?
Like a fucking what's his name? David Lynch kind of thing. Like, doesn't make sense. I don't care. Like,
you just work it out.
Yeah, exactly. You just do it. Now, see, I actually need to confess I misconstrued that. I thought you were saying that the Scream TV series should have just been avoided in the first place, which is what I was going to agree with. I didn't like the Scream TV series at all. It had a really good start to. So the end of the first episode, I think it's the end of the first episode, worked really well for me because the poor man's Jamie Kennedy. What's the main guy likes movies.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
I know the one. I can't remember their names.
He gives a big speech about how slashers don't work in a television series because...
Yeah, it's like, it's quick once you start getting to the killing. It's like, it's bang, bang, bang. That's the end of the movie, but TV series is long.
Yeah, exactly. And I was kind of like, ooh, interesting. I like how they challenged themselves. They did not rise to the challenge they set themselves, in my opinion. I was kind of just like and like, it was nothing to do with story structure. That's a lie. It was a little bit to do with... No, but like, a lot of the characters for me were just like at least in the 90s, that was still... Like, that's what teenagers would have been like in the 90s. I feel like these characters have been teleported from the 90s into the 2010s and have quickly just Googled what's popular in 2016 because they reference Game of Thrones every single goddamn episode.
I get where you're coming from on that. Yeah, some of them definitely didn't land their characters. It's like that's not what people are like anymore.
Yeah,
you're just not. And they didn't feel real. I feel though that some of the characters,
did
a good effort
feel
of
like,
changing them from 90s to like now.
Like the guy who the poor man's Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was my favorite character.
Yeah, he came across really well of someone who would like know all about that kind of stuff while still being like in this kind of age, and he like fit into that nerd niche without it being too much of a nerd.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
But so have you guys seen Scream?
Like all the actual.
Just the first one.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first one.
Well, the biggest thing for me is that is one of my favourite movies of all time. Not just horror movies, not just 90s movies, the favourite movies. Scream is a stroke of genius. I love it. Like, I've seen it 50 times. Now, why make it a Scream TV series and call it Scream if you're going to adopt, like, 10% of what makes Scream good in the first place? Like, the show isn't as meta as the movie. He doesn't even wear the Ghostface mask. Like, they're just...
That was my biggest gripe.
So confused as to why they even bothered calling it Scream.
When 12 years.
yeah, like, that's fair. And like, I suppose the whole like slashers don't work in TV. That was very Scream. That screamed Scream, if you will. But like nothing else really. There was one, and there was no references to the actual Scream movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there were.
Done that.
Yeah, there were things similar to it. Like the rules for TV applying differently to the rules of a slasher movie. But there was one slightly obscure reference to the TV show, and it came in the last episode, and at that point, when I heard it, I wasn't excited, I was mad. It took them 10 episodes to get there, and it was, oh, don't you have a landline? And one of the jocks was like, oh, landline? What is this, 1996? Yeah, fucking good one, man. Like...
Well, that kind of leads right into your topic of horror movies.
Horror movies.
In general.
Stop them. Okay. Not necessarily horrors, just slashers, probably. Would have been more specific.
The slashers?
Slashers. Okay, we're getting Friday the 13th next year?
I thought that was cancelled.
What? Okay.
I may be wrong. I may have just... Yeah, I may have just heard something, but, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, slashers are an ultimate guilty pleasure. You watch dumb idiots pay with their life and making dumb choices. You see a lot of boobs, never a problem with that. You see dumb kind of mindless violence. Like, they're fun movies, but like it is just the definition of more of the same. It's just all like, I can't think of many horror remakes that brought anything fresh. It's just Nightmare on Elm Street turned Freddy Krueger into a pedophile rather than a child murderer.
Yep.
Don't know what that added, but
I think they were just going for something that, I guess, slightly more topical and
like
slightly more harder hitting.
Yeah, and
now,
like, kudos for
really
trying, because a swing and a miss is still better than a safe hit, in my opinion. But like that movie still was just like, and like, do you know what the real problem is? Half the things in these remakes are just homages to the original one. So they're getting away with unoriginal ideas.
That's a good point. I mean, like, the Psycho remake with Vince Vaughn was shot for shot.
Shot for shot.
Except for that ending, where they added an extra shot that took away from the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And like, because they pan up to the sky or something like that, rather than staying on the car, which may not seem like a big deal, but I'm sure if you Googled the reason, we don't have time to get into it, but like, I'm sure if you Googled or YouTubed endings between the Psychos, someone will be able to explain better than myself why a pan up is a big deal.
Oh, it's because it like returns you back to the good world.
Yeah, the normal world, our world.
Yeah.
Whereas Psychos leaves you stuck in this horrible transgender drag queen murderess.
Yeah, where Norman Bates gets away with this. Like, he's about to get caught. It doesn't pan up.
No, he's already been caught.
Oh, has he already been caught at that point?
Yeah, he's been caught because he's sitting there. He's sitting with a blanket. He's like, "Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly." And as it fades to the car, the skull of Martha. Wasn't it said Martha Bates? Is everyone called Martha? No. No, it's not Norma.
Martha.
Is it
Norma?
Norma? Yeah, because it's Norma and Norman.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's Martha. Every mother ever needs to be called Martha.
Every movie mum from now on. Martha Gump.
King Kong's mother? Martha.
Martha
Godzilla's
Kong.
Mother? Martha.
Marthazilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree that slashers specifically in the horror genre have not been treated. They haven't aged well.
No.
Like they were a crazy big thing, and they've just fallen off because
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel a big issue is also everyone watches them. This is gonna sound stupid. They watch them wrong. You're not meant to. That sounds dumb. You're not meant to like empathize with the characters because your position in the film should be from the slasher's perspective. You're there to watch dumb people die.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The villain is there to do what you want. You don't want them to survive. Not
Yeah.
really. They're making stupid decisions. You can't relate.
Yeah.
The Final Girls, I actually think was a great play on the slasher genre.
It was an excellent movie. Basically what it is.
Final Girls.
Was it the Final Girls or the Lost Girls?
I think it was
I'm
the
not that
Final Girls.
The Final Girls.
Basically they get pulled into like a movie, like they get pulled in like Last Action Hero style.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so they're just going through the motions and everything of it, and then they realize at one point it's like, oh, you know, they realize that it runs by the rules,
Yeah.
and it's they've got pulled into like an 80s slasher.
Yeah,
So
cool.
at the end of like, I don't want to ruin it, but it involves, you know, the namesake of Last Girls, Final Girls,
Yep.
which is the big thing in a lot of slashers.
Of course. The virgins.
Yeah, basically like that. So it's and it's just, it really did it well. I think that's basically the closest we'll get to a modern Scream that really
Yeah.
did that kind of thing as well, going back to that point. But yeah, that was probably a good slasher.
Behind the Mask, I think, was also a good take on it. I thought it was funny. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. If you folks haven't seen it, go watch it. It's just a fun watch. It's like a horror comedy play where we follow the rise of like the next Freddy Krueger, the next Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, cool.
And it's got one of the characters is essentially the guy from Black Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Black Christmas.
He's like the mentor character to this Leslie Vernon. It's just it's fun. Just go watch it.
Ah, well, there you go. Stop remaking the slashers with pre-existing brand recognition. Your Freddy Kruegers, your Halloweens, your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, your Friday the 13th, your Screams, your Chuckies. Stop making them. Get Peeping Tom. Get the ones you guys just mentioned. Get Rosemary's Baby, even though that's not a slash, it's just back to horror in general. But stop remaking the safe choices that you're already going to make at least $50 million back on name recognition alone. Like, Peeping Tom's a really interesting movie. Don't remake Psycho. Do not touch Psycho.
You know, I think that's a good point. We shouldn't be remaking horrors because you're not going to recapture the fear that they brought to the original.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the point
Audience.
of like horrors is it's the unknown. That's what I feel horrors are doing wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, something's gone wrong. Here's what it is doing it. Whereas it's much more terrifying when like you see a part of like a monster or like a shadow and you don't know all the information yet and you learn bit by bit. That's terrifying.
That's why James Wan's good.
James Wan is killing it at the moment.
That's what James
because
Wan does well.
Even when he's showing you the monster, like that scene in Conjuring 2 where it's got Valak walking against the wall.
Yeah.
And like her hands reach out from behind the painting.
That was an excellent
You
shot.
see the monster and it is still terrifying.
Do you know what really scares me is in the first Conjuring when the girls are in the room and the older sister goes by the door and they're standing there and like it's just the girl standing complete darkness behind her and the little sister's in the bed going like, oh my god, it's standing right behind you. And like it's just black. And then all that happens is it pauses and a door slams. You don't see anything scary, but being held and being forced to stare at something you don't know and you can't see, way scarier.
It just puts that like uncomfortability
Yeah.
in you, and that's the scary part. Is that like uncomfortableness? It's not so much scary as it is creepy.
Mm.
And I feel that's what makes like a much better horror than just a jump scare.
Yeah.
Something that leaves you with that creepy, lingering feeling.
Yeah. Suspense is being scared for a minute. A jump scare is being scared for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Suspense and mystery is what makes a good
Yeah.
horror, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely confusing jump scares with legitimate
Yeah.
frighteningness. If I leave a cinema after a like movie is finished and I'm worried to just like walk back to the car because it's night, it's just like that has done right.
Yeah.
But if it's like the worst thing I'm like is like, oh, is someone gonna jump at me? It's like
Yeah.
that's not
When
done
the
its
scariest thing in your movie was someone opening an umbrella, I'm talking about You Rings remake. That's not a good horror.
That was a sequel.
Was it a sequel?
It's
that
like the
was,
email attachment rings.
yeah, it's the new Rings. Yeah, it's a sequel. Actually, if you look at it, as far as I can see,
Really?
that just is a proper sequel.
Ah. Well, it still wasn't good. my
I mean,
point.
it might have been a remake, but it just...
No, I think it was a sequel.
Yeah,
'cause I
definitely
think it was
felt
like
like-
tapes existed, but now they're going viral.
Oh, because old people are scared of the internet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, just while we're still on horrors though, let's go back to original horrors. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Universal horror movies.
Okay. This is actually my topic right now. Dracula doesn't need to be remade for their dark universe, okay? Yeah, I liked Dracula Untold. I thought it was good. It bombed. I know why they're not continuing with it. I thought it was an enjoyable movie, though. And it left unanswered questions.
So many. The ending was vague.
Why do you need to try and relaunch the dark universe, as they're calling it, with another bombing movie? Right? Just launch it with Dracula Untold still. Tell the story of, like, just make that the new Dracula movie a sequel to Dracula Untold in the modern day, with the Charles Dance as the like evil leader vampire.
That's a great choice.
Like that's what I want to see. Like what it's set up for at the end.
Wait, so hang on. Is Dracula Untold, was it I, Frankenstein?
No.
No, they're not related?
No, I don't think they were related.
Okay,
at
so
all.
Dracula Untold was going to be the first attempt at the Dark Universe.
I'm not sure if they were going for a whole, like, the whole Dark Universe thing, or if they were just trying to do a line of sort of Dracula movies. But it was definitely trying to set up for something greater.
Yeah.
Like, it had a lot of, like, extra plot points at the end that was just like, you know, come back next time for the next movie.
Yeah,
There's
like-
going to be some great stuff.
Except it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It shows the guy from The Hobbit, the actor from The Hobbit, in the modern world, and he sees like his main love interest from the past in the modern day.
Yep, classic
And you
Dracula.
see Charles Dance sitting there at like a coffee table, and he was like the main bad guy that turned Dracula. I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, he was like the one who gave
And it's
Dracula
like,
his vampires.
ooh, what's gonna happen now? But we don't get to find out now because they're gonna reboot Dracula again. It doesn't need to be done.
And I think this whole universe is unnecessary. Just make the monster movies. Just do them individually. Why is everything a shared universe? Oh, because Marvel's making a shit ton
Yeah.
of money.
What is this building to?
Yeah, I can't see why all of these monsters need to be together at some point
And,
in the
like,
future. It just...
Dracula isn't scarier because he's standing next to Frankenstein. I mean, it's just...
Also, the Mummy's the start of it, right? That's
Yeah,
what they're doing.
supposedly.
Mummy
Now-
is the first one.
None of us can fully comment because none of us have seen it as of yet. But I assume by the end of it, heroes will win, Tom Cruise will come out on top, and the Mummy will be defeated in some way. So,
I reckon it's got something to do with Tom Cruise, though, because he can die and come back.
yeah, it's like, will he be kind of
Oh,
like the
yeah,
point?
This is a sequel to Live, Die, Repeat, but then there's the real sequel to Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah, it's like, will he be the part of the Mummy that's in the future ones? Is it going to be like all the heroes that
Maybe.
defeated their villains?
Is he like a Van Helsing? Like I don't know what is going on with this movie. I've seen the trailer plenty of times. I could not tell you in any possible direction. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't tell you like how they're going to build up this to
Yeah.
a point of...
And also, don't forget Russell Crowe, one of Australia's least favourite actors for some reason, playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that's...
All right, real quick, I'm saying it tonight. Official guest time, which is a recurring segment on the show. Will he actually CGI transform, or will they just like part his hair differently or something?
CGI.
You reckon
CGI
you call him
transform.
CGI?
I don't think he's going to transform at all because I reckon they're gonna like try and save that. I reckon they're gonna like just very like try and hint at it so much, but just like don't show us. Now that's having very high hopes
Yeah.
for what they are trying to go for, like being all like, oh, you know, this is him, but we don't see anything yet.
Like, he's not Mr. Hyde yet. He's only Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, I would love that. Like he's not that yet, so like maybe in another movie we can like see a transformation.
Yeah.
That would be a nice setup.
See?
They might not do it.
I was about to say, too bad they're not going to do it. They're going
Yeah.
to blow their load in the first movie. Like,
Exactly,
they're gonna
they're not gonna do it, but I can hope.
Oh man.
I got other problems, though, with things getting remade or rebooted. I mean,
Yep.
making the live-action Disney movies like the Beauty and the Beast and the Cinderella movies
And Jungle Book.
And Jungle... I liked Jungle Book.
I liked Beauty and the Beast, with that being said.
Oh, yeah? I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast, so I couldn't comment on that. I didn't watch Cinderella. But why does it need to be done?
Yeah.
Jungle Book tells a different story. I'm
Well, that's
excited
fine.
for Lion King one, because it's got my Donald Glover, and I love Donald
Yep.
Glover.
And James Earl Jones might be returning
James
to
Earl
Mufasa, because why get anyone
Yeah.
else?
And John Favreau is doing that
Yeah,
one
John,
again.
yeah. On
And
board.
Jon Favreau is fantastic,
Well,
so I'm excited for that.
I haven't seen Jungle Book, but apparently you nailed it.
Jungle Book is really
So
good.
yeah, give him another
And
go.
it tells a different story to the original Disney movie.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think Cinderella does, and I don't think
Beauty and the Beast is beat for beat.
It's beat for beat the same movie.
Animated. Because there's videos on Facebook of the trailers going side by side.
Yeah,
like
they're
that's
so similar.
that is how beat for beat. Even the fucking trailers were the same. The editors of that movie would have had the easiest jobs in the world.
Yeah, just look, that's why we got to do that. But yeah, it's obvious why they're doing it. I mean, just looking at it from a pure business perspective,
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
money.
But do we need it? We don't need it. Why not work on something new?
Yeah,
Disney are creatively bankrupt, maybe.
I mean, like Big Hero 6. It's a bit older now, but that was fantastic as like an animated movie that they clearly have fresh ideas that you don't need to keep bringing old stuff back.
Yeah.
So
Zootopia.
keep doing that. Yeah,
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Kicked ass. I loved Zootopia.
Yeah, exactly. Keep doing stuff like that. They can clearly, make things that people want to see that aren't just remaking old movies, but oh look, now there's actual people.
Yeah.
Frozen's now the highest grossing animated film of all time. And look, to its credit, I like Frozen. It's overrated. I'm sick of it, but I still liked it. It's still good. It's still a serviceable movie.
It's a Disney princess movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good.
Where-
they are all the same thing, but they're still good.
Where the love was actually sisterhood the whole time. Like, but what else are we getting? We're getting, sorry, just real quick before I move on, potentially a Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin,
I'd be interested
which is
in
which
that.
is still rumor, but hang on, keep in mind that Will Smith is rumored as Genie.
I'm on board with that one. I heard that. I don't see a problem.
Are we going CGI Genie, or are we just going to paint Will Smith in the Smurf face or something like that, or
Yeah,
like will they just give him blue clothes? Like, what do we?
I hope it's just like one of those in his likeness CGI things.
I
Don't
go,
try and
yeah.
put him in as a person.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
want a CGI.
Just quickly walk into Disney
Genie.
World, take one of the costumes, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
bring it
Go,
on
Will,
set.
go.
Yeah.
It's like done.
Will Smith is electric; he can pull it off.
And back to Disney. Mary Poppins 2?
I'm also excited for that. Emily Blunt is one of the three choices who are absolutely perfect for that role. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
very
no, she is cast as Mary Poppins.
Perfect.
Colin Firth is cast as the grown-up version of the son.
Oh, it's a sequel.
Yeah, it is a direct sequel. It's set 30 years after the first movie.
Mary Poppins is younger.
Well, she stays the same age.
This is
So,
literally the first I've ever heard of this. I
I
didn't
saw
know
this.
was coming.
Yeah.
I saw this today.
Oh, so this is real recent. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like,
okay
this is-
that I haven't heard of
Yeah,
it.
this is the
Yeah.
first I heard of
Just
it
while
today.
you're talking, I'll get a photo of Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins, and like to her credit, she looks
She does
damn
look
good.
And Julie Andrews is going to make a cameo in the movie at some point.
Aw,
From the looks of it, she's
wonderful.
in the cast. And Dick Van Dyke's in the cast too. He'll probably play the same character because he's actually aged. Right? So, but it's just
He's
like,
aged poorly.
does this need to be done?
No.
Maybe not. Am I still going to see it? Probably. Like,
I feel this isn't something that they're doing out of cash grab.
no, I think they actually have a good story set up. It's like Mary Poppins comes back to like help the grown-up versions of the kids deal with the tragedy, and it's like set in the Great Depression and stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. It's got Colin Firth. He does good things.
But hang on, which one's Colin Firth? Is Colin Firth?
Colin Firth is
The
in
King's
Kingsman.
Speech? Yeah.
Yeah. King's
Oh,
Speech.
Kingsman. Yeah,
King's
very
Speech. Kingsman. Saint Trinians.
Yeah.
Bridget Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, Bridget. That's Colin Firth.
All right, cool. All right, okay, well, hang on. Real quick, sorry, because we are, short on time. But speaking of Disney movies, I would like to talk about what only holds up through nostalgia goggles. I recently rewatched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and okay, I'm a huge animated movies fan. Massive. It was the first feature-length animated film. It's still, the colours are still vibrant, the Enchanted Forest scene's still really well put together. The animation holds up. I'm going to say, now, 80 years on, and that movie's animation still holds up. It's one of the most spectacular accomplishments in film history. The story is balls. It's so... It rushes and drags, and then rushes and drags, and then next thing you know, it's over. No, it's not even over. Just next thing you know, the witch is dead, and then it drags again, and then the priest just comes up and just fucking creepily kisses on her. Like, obviously that's something that hasn't held up from the 30s. Kissing unconscious women is no longer socially acceptable. But like, oh my god, I just watched it and I was just kind of like, it got to a point where I was just like, gee, we're a fucking long way from this movie, and the witch hasn't even tried anything benevolent since killing her, and that was in the first 15 minutes. Like, and that witch is melodramatic. Like, her first instinct is, you know what, this girl is better looking than me. Let's cut her heart out, shall we? Now, granted, that's the response most women get when they find someone more attractive than them, but like, that's just no. I'm sorry, it does not hold up.
Doesn't make for a good story.
No.
Does it not hold up if I find it doesn't scare me anymore? Because that movie terrified me when I was a kid. So does that count as it not holding up, that it doesn't scare me?
I find a lot of like children's movies though have one scene, just a single scene in every children's movie.
Yep.
That is just pure nightmare fuel for children.
Tunnel of Fear, Willy Wonka.
That's nightmare fuel for adults. Well, like on the whole animated kind of vein, yours was Pokemon.
Oh yeah, the original Pokemon games, they don't hold up.
So you're talking Red and Blue?
Red and Blue
on the Game Boy.
Even kind of any of the Pokemon games, I feel they're not as good as you think they are. I'm sorry, people, you're not gonna like me. Pokemon is a little bit overrated, and I think it only holds up for some people because of their like love for the series, like the pre-existing love.
Okay, I'm gonna say anything beyond Red and Blue still holds up for me.
I don't think Gold and
Crystal
hold
and
up.
Silver. Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I don't think they hold up either.
They're my favourites.
Well,
the remakes of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we saying like the originals or like the remakes? Because I feel
the originals. I feel Fire Red and Leaf Green
and Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
They still hold up. I think the originals. I think before you get any game that didn't have the running shoes in it doesn't hold up.
That's true. I mean,
I have replayed them. Not having running shoes, I wanted to kill myself rather than finish playing the games.
Yeah, the pace does really it's too slow.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't finish it because it's too slow.
For a game where you can potentially, run into a battle every 3 steps if you're unlucky, like, I want to at least be able to move those 3 steps as fast as possible.
Yeah, right? Sun and Moon were good though. I feel that did change things up, and it just wasn't the same
I still haven't
Pokemon
played them.
formula.
I still haven't played them, and they're the only ones that don't follow the same formula for 20
right?
years.
Well, as far as from the formula as you can get.
I like that they're adding new stuff at least. Like they had that whole they've added Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
Like it's not just
Alolan forms.
Yeah.
And...
Generation 1, 2, 3 are functionally identical, basically.
Yeah.
And then even 4, I think, was still fairly close.
That was that was a big deal though, because that was the jump to the DS.
Yeah,
with Diamond and Pearl, and do you remember that feeling when you first put in Diamond and Pearl into a DS, and you went from your fucking Hoenn region on the Game Boy, and then all of a sudden you got fucking 2 screens, everything's kind of slightly 3D.
It was so much better. And then they added they added Z moves, all those special kind of things. So at least they're adding to it. So I can see why the old ones don't hold up, because the new ones have more stuff that going back I missed this. There's a lot of that kind of thing. You play an old game, you're like, this is great, and then they more come out in a series, and then when you go back, you're like, well, this isn't as good because the things that they've added really shine when you don't have them.
Yeah,
I think that was the main point I was trying to make, is that the original ones just don't hold up.
Yeah, it's we've moved on.
They're sorely lacking in features.
The only reason you would like them is because of those memories you had of playing it as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember this so vividly. That's the only reason.
I love being able to barely see the screen.
This is why I wear glasses now.
See, now I've also got a controversial opinion on this.
Yes, you do.
That many people are probably going to hate as well, but I honestly think that the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, does not hold up. Just the Fellowship of the Ring. All the other ones, Return of the King and Two Towers, they still are fine. But go back and watch Fellowship of the Ring, and it is a chore. It is incredibly boring once you've already seen it, because just not a lot happened in comparison to the other ones. They have huge battles, and it's more stuff just going on all the time, and it's, in my opinion, more interesting. The first one is honestly a crap ton of walking.
It's
And-
definitely the bulk of the walking.
Yeah, it's most of the walking happened in the first movie. You've got like the Mines of Moria where things are really great.
I was about to say, can we just please discuss the Balrog?
Yeah, like that whole like Mines of Moria part. That's good.
Yeah.
And like
And also Frodo's many cum faces.
That's true. He really put them on.
He really enjoyed that.
And then yeah, like the last like kind of battle where they were all getting hunted and they all got separated.
Yeah.
Those are exciting.
Yeah.
Everything else, not so much.
Are we talking just the director's cut, or are we talking the theatrical cut too, Mr. Frodo?
Both. Just
Both?
what? Like I've tried both. Like
Now,
Either
I love that you guys have brought this up because I've been playing a lot of Shadow of Mordor recently, and in that Middle-earth fueled bloodshedding, I recently thought, why don't I actually start rewatching The Lord of the Rings? I have the extended cuts, literally comes on 2 discs, and I've probably I'm onto my 3rd go to finish it. I really like the movies. I will say that even though it's not exciting, the Council of Elrond, I really like that scene.
that is a nice.
In the extended version, there's a good bit where Gandalf speaks the Black Tongue of Mordor. Everyone kind of flips out.
I think I've only seen the extended cuts.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually seen the theatrical cut.
Yeah, like it is long, and it fucking starts real slow as well. Actually, no, it starts great with the whole forging the ring scene, but like when you get to Bilbo and Frodo in the Shire, it's kind of like,
I thought that scene was kind of fun though, like the fireworks and the dragon.
oh, the fireworks and the dragon's cool, but like,
And I think it's just a lot of good character building with Merry and Pippin and
yeah, definitely. But when you've already seen it and you know exactly what Merry and Pippin are like, it's kind of like, can we get to Rivendell?
Yeah, that's why I feel it doesn't hold up. It's
When can we not pass? Okay, that's just what I want to know when I'm watching the start of Fellowship of the Ring.
It's still a good movie if you haven't seen it, which if you haven't, you're probably under 10. I feel everyone ever has seen that movie at this point. So if you haven't seen it though, I reckon it would still be a fun, magical kind of adventure.
Yeah.
And, I still reckon it would hold up that way, but it will not hold up if you've already seen it. It can't. It's just not the kind of movie that has a lot of rewatchability because there's not enough excitement.
And because it's fucking long.
And it's long.
Like,
I mean,
it's so long.
even the theatrical cut was long.
yeah, you have to set aside a bunch of time. You have to take out time in advance. You're like, all right, I'm gonna watch The Lord of the Rings now, and
You could watch 2 movies you hadn't seen before re-watching Fellowship of the Ring once.
yeah, exactly. It's it's so long. It's ridiculous. I just couldn't get through it. I know I've tried many times. I was like, I love Lord of the Rings. Don't get me wrong, I love it. And I was like, let's watch them all. Let's watch 1 through 3. I'm not gonna watch The Hobbits again because they're okay.
I was going to say, can we agree that
Yeah.
do you think Fellowship will hold up more than the Hobbit movies?
I feel that it probably won't, just because the Hobbit movies, right?
Yep.
They're not better than Fellowship of the Ring, but the Hobbit movies had more happening.
They understood pacing a bit more.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, well, there's always something kind of going on. It's like, even if people are like, oh, there's a stupid, dishwashing scene.
Yeah.
It's still something.
I like the dishwashing scene.
Yeah, right. I enjoyed that too. I was like, that's fine, them going down
and the bit after when they sing, forever.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And I think it'll hold up better, but still not a better movie. But yeah, I've tried to watch them all through.
Yeah.
I've never done it because I still always stop at Fellowship.
Stop the foot. Not a great sign, Peter Jackson.
It's too difficult.
It's like the effort it takes to just watch, to get through Fellowship on a rewatch.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch the rest, you're bored.
Yeah.
You just want to go do something else. Anyway, I think that's all we've got time for today. Thanks for listening, folks. Let us know what you thought down below in the comments, and we'll be back with you next week.